Hey guys, welcome back to Modeling Manhood. We got a real interesting story for you guys today. A good friend of mine who likes to paraglide. If you don't know what a paraglide is, it's basically a backpack propeller with a motor that's attached to a parachute that you run with throttle and controls in your hand, and then you run and it propels you off the ground, and then you can glide around kind of like a parachute, but you can direct where it goes. So a friend of mine often goes up and paraglides around. Sometimes he'll drop in at the house here. One time while he was here, he decided to do like, if you ever seen like pictures of guys walking on the moon, he did like 3 or 4 steps all the way across the length of my barn, which is like over 100 feet long. It was like, whoa, 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 whoa. It was just absolutely incredible. And maybe you guys have seen some amazing feats that people have done, but it was truly awesome. And I wish I could find a video or find a picture of him just like doing that, running steps across the whole length of our barn with this motor attached to him with like this large propeller, but just unbelievable. In the Bible, we learn about a guy named Elijah. He had just defeated all the prophets of Baal on Mount Carmel. It hasn't rained in over 3 years, and now he's telling the king, keep looking out over the Mediterranean Sea. There's a storm brewing and a storm coming. And we're going to pick up right after this happens in 1 Kings chapter 18, verse 45. And it came to pass in the meanwhile that the heaven was black with clouds and wind, and there was a great rain. And Ahab rode and went to Jezreel. And the distance between Mount Carmel and Jezreel, where King Ahab would have been going in his chariot, scholars believes anywhere from 17 to 30 miles. And I want you guys to kind of picture 17 to 30 miles in your head. Maybe think of something that takes you guys about a half hour to get to in your vehicle. And imagine this man named Elijah here in verse 46. And the hand of the Lord was upon Elijah, and he girded up his loins, and he ran before Ahab to the entrance of Jezreel. So it says here in the Bible that Ahab outran King Ahab and his chariots from Mount Carmel to Jezreel and was basically waiting for him. And it says the hand of the Lord was upon him. And whenever I read that in the Bible where it says the hand of the Lord was on somebody, I think of like Samson and the great feats of strength that the Lord enabled him to do. And you see it again here. The hand of the Lord was upon Elijah. And Elijah was a little bit of a whiner at times. He would be like, God, it's only me. And then he'd be like, well, what about all these other prophets? Or I'm hungry. And then the ravens would bring him food. But Elijah wasn't perfect. We see the human side of him too. Sometimes in our Christian walk, we decide to run away from the Lord. And we can do that in lots of different ways and turn our back on him. And I don't know what your faith walk has looked like. Maybe it's been kind of one of these ups and downs. Maybe it's been a trajectory that's gone in a positive way. But for a lot of us, there's been some rocky times, some hard times where we've gone through some life circumstances or some instances where we just want to turn our back and run the opposite direction. So my question for you is, are you running with the strength of the Lord? Are you willing to go with the Lord, let him lead you in his strength? Or are you going to keep trying to do things on your own? As for me, and hopefully my house, like we learn about in Joshua, we will serve the Lord, and I want to lead my family well. That's something that is challenging as a man in today's culture. Just how do I lead my family spiritually? And that's my encouragement for you guys. Make sure that the hand of the Lord is upon you and that you're running after the good things, running the good fight that talks about in the New Testament, the race that's set before us. So get on your running shoes and make sure that the Lord's leading you and you're not running in the opposite direction. Make sure you're following him. Thank you guys for joining us. And if you see my friend out there with the parasail, tell him he is really cool. So anyways, thanks for joining us here at Modeling Manhood. God bless, and remember to mirror your maker and journey with Jesus today.